Yo, what is going on? PartTimerZack here. In today's video, I wanted to talk about S Bianca and just kind of go over her skill set and her move set and see if she's worth saving for after you've done your alpha pulls. A lot of people are probably at a point where they're looking to save. They got everything they wanted from the alpha banner and they're just kind of looking to go on to what's next. And so from what I understand and all the research that I've been kind of looking at, S Bianca seems to be the kind of next one in the plate, mainly because I've been looking at JP and CN. Now, the timing is a little bit different from what I understood and what I've kind of been able to find, that the dates are actually like 3 months apart from each unit. So Alpha comes out and then Bianca comes out 3 months later. However, they have talked about on the global side that there may be some acceleration and some condensement essentially that is going to be happening. Now, from what I kind of understand and what I can kind of gather from that, we don't necessarily know, obviously, so take it with a grain of salt. I kind of expect it's going to be about a month and a half, because they're going to be trying to cut this time period a little bit so they can kind of catch up for global. That kind of seems like what always happens when global comes out, which is why I wanted to make this video so you guys can get started if you are free to play players. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about is she is a lightning 80% and she still has that 20% physical to kind of help her out. Now, the A Bianca is a physical unit, and so the comparison's a little bit different, obviously, because she's only 20% here as the S1, but we will be doing comparisons later when she actually drops and kind of giving you an idea which Bianca is actually worth. But if you want to see that a little bit faster, definitely let me know. I can probably find some gameplay. Let's go ahead and go over her red orbs. So she fires an energy arrow that penetrates through enemies after charging it and dealing a certain percentage of physical damage. It deals lightning damage when it is a 3 orb ping. So that is where you're going to get your little bit of physical there, and you can definitely see the lightning starts to take place after that 3 ping combo. Now, going into the blue orb, this is kind of interesting once you get into her core passive, which is what we'll talk about here in a couple of seconds. But you snap your fingers and explode the arrow's energy, pushing back enemies around you, dealing a certain percentage of physical damage. Gain 1 lightning charge. Normal attacks will have a 1 extra lightning arrow, deals a certain percentage of lightning damage, and then red orbs and core passive will trigger 2 additional lightning arrows that do a certain percentage of lightning damage, last for 8 seconds, which we'll talk about here in a second when we jump into the core passive, because honestly I feel like it's actually kind of cool, and one of the reasons I love Bianca in the first place, because she has kind of a cool thing to her. Now, the yellow orb is going to flash towards the sky, shooting out a charge arrow, dealing a certain percentage of physical damage after 2 exploding, leaving a lightning area. Enemies within the area will be slowed by a certain percentage and receive a certain percentage of lightning per second. The field will last 3, 5, 7 seconds, depending on the orbs that you've pinged. Now, the reason I keep saying a certain percentage is because it matters about how many pings you have in the overall stats, and those are subject to change based on level and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I'm mentioning that and not giving you like these specifics, because I'm pretty sure that this is like the max Bianca. So I just wanted to give you an idea that that is subject to change as you progress through the levels. Now, basic attack here shoots out 7 arrows. The last arrow will be charged, and then a penetration arrow as well, and deal a certain percentage of physical damage in total. So again, you're going to get a little bit of that physical, and it's definitely going to help you out quite a bit when we talk about her memories and going from there. So her ultimate skill here is consumes 100 energy, fires off a barrage of arrows towards the sky, triggers a chain lightning strike. Each strike deals a certain percent of lightning damage within their area. After delay, the strike will explode, dealing a certain more percentage of lightning. So you can definitely see that she has just quite a bit of stuff going on. And when we actually talk about the gameplay that I should be featuring throughout the video, you will start to get an idea why she's actually really fun and has a lot of stuff to her. So let's talk about her assist here, her QTE. She shoots out 4 arrows, dealing a certain percentage of lightning damage. Now, I would kind of say that she's more of a second DPS, honestly, when it comes to a lot of different things, but it depends on the rotation of the characters, because at first I think she's really just going to be a main DPS and maybe have like support from A Lucia and then have the A Liv as well. That kind of helps out because they're both Thunder units going into that. Now, they don't have a lot of A tanks right now for Thunder. It's going to be kind of a ongoing process as they kind of get some people out. So that's just something to kind of look into right now. Most of the teams are probably going to be 2 DPS and then the Liv, or if you're just working with whatever tank you have, that's definitely an option as well. But if you're going for a full Thunder team or full Lightning team, that is going to be something to kind of consider. Now, her core passive here. So this is what I really want to talk about because I think it's really cool. So after a 3 red orb combo, consuming blue orbs will enter sniper mode. Basic attacks will fire off a long range penetrating lightning arrow that deals a certain percent of lightning damage, lasts for 6 seconds, or after successfully shooting 6 arrows. Exit sniper mode. When dodging during sniper mode, the next basic attack will have a faster charge rate and the orbs won't be recovered during the basic attack. So you can see she has a little bit of a thing there, and it's really cool once you see her gameplay, how much damage she can start to do. Now, there is a meter down below, and I'm guessing that's what kind of amps up the damage. I'm not necessarily sure if that just progressively goes up. From what I've seen from the gameplay anyway, it looks like as you're kind of just doing damage and stuff like that, that little bar kind of goes up, and then you just start doing massive amounts of damage as you're kind of in that sniper mode. So that's just kind of what I understand from looking at the gameplay. Obviously, I wish I can actually play her, but I'm not able to do that. So the leader here, if she is your leader, lightning damage increased to all members, which is why I'm saying at the beginning she's most likely going to be your DPS leader for lightning teams. Attack types gain an additional 5% attack, which is why she'll be definitely really good with somebody like Lucia, because she's also attack unit. So you're getting a little bit of a bonus for your lightning and your attack members as long as S Bianca is your leader there. Now going into her passives here, it looks like she has 3 passives. So the first passive is deal 10% more damage to enemies who got penetrated by the arrow from red orb skill, lasts for 8 seconds. Her second one is deal 15% more damage to enemies within the lightning area from your red score or your yellow orb skill. And then your last one is 20% more damage increase when in sniper mode. So you can definitely see that you're kind of giving a little bit of more passive skills in order to kind of get your orbs going and doing a lot more damage. Now going into some different things just about her in general, I really feel like she's going to be a really strong unit. Now, when comparing somebody like Alpha, obviously she's going to fall a little short depending on your playstyle. If you like range, I definitely think S Bianca is going to be one of those units that you're going to have a lot of fun playing. She has a lot of gimmicks to her and a lot of things kind of going on and doing a lot of damage. And honestly, I've loved A Bianca, and so I'm definitely kind of prepping for it, especially with lightning and stuff like that. I love getting my hands on that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and just talk about her weapons overall. So real quickly, just talking about her signature weapon will be kind of the same thing that Alpha has, where it comes when she comes and then you're able to kind of roll in it. This is just a real quick breakdown of it. I will do a more in-depth guide when we come to actually rolling for it and whether you should be looking for it. But essentially, if you're looking to get the character and the lightning bow here, this is what you're going to be looking at. So the base damage here for maxed out is 476 with a pretty high crit of 249. And now what I was told in the comments that every 100 is actually 3% crit. So you can definitely see that it's about 6.5% crit whenever you kind of do that comparison. Now the skill here is going to be the Rolling Thunder, which is actually a really cool name. 15% lightning damage increase. Trigger a lightning strike after dealing lightning damage using 5 skills or using skills 5 times on a single target, dealing 150% damage, 2-second cooldown. So this is definitely going to be something that you're going to want to pick up for her, mainly because she does so much lightning, especially if you're in a lightning team. That is going to help you out even more. And so I definitely think that's something to kind of consider. But obviously you're looking to be free to play, you're going to want to get the bulk of your BC as fast as you essentially can, especially if this is a unit you're interested in. Now, talking about her general memories here, I do have the game pulled up, and I'm definitely going to be kind of talking mostly about these and more of a kind of intro format essentially. So this is going to be your 2-piece here. It looks like you're actually going to be a little bit more higher on that basic damage, and that's what we're looking for the increase of 15%. And the reason that we want 15% of basic damage is because Bianca does a lot with her basic attacks and uses them quite frequently to kind of build meter and kind of get some different things going for her overall kit. So having that little bit of extra oomph when you're doing that attack is something that is definitely worth it. Now, talking about the next one, this is going to be your 4-stack essentially. And as you can see, all attacks have a 25% chance to trigger Thunderstorm within a 3.5 meter. Thunderstorm electrocutes the target for 5 seconds, 5-second cooldown. Attacking an electrocuted enemy has a 20% chance to trigger lightning chain damage, 8 seconds cooldown. Lightning chain, all electrocuted units have, or all electrocuted targets take 250% lightning damage. Thunderstorm, 100% lightning damage, execute. Then lightning resistance reduced by 8%. So not only are you doing a massive amount of damage with lightning, you are chain comboing with lightning, and then they are also giving a little bit of a resistance reduced by 8%. So they're taking more damage. So you can definitely see why this is something that you want to kind of look forward to or start to kind of get. Now, I don't know if they're going to have a similar event where they actually have this as a grindable card for the memories like they kind of have with Patton right now. There's definitely remains to be kind of unseen. I'm not necessarily sure that they even did it on JP or CN, but this is something to kind of keep in the back of your mind. Now, from what I understand when I'm comparing these two, so this is the first slot for this one, and this is the first slot for this one. It definitely looks like it's not going to matter too much, but it's going to be kind of up to the slots and stuff like that, which we'll talk more about whenever we get into the actual unit in a different video and just doing a more of a breakdown. So I don't want to bombard you guys too much with all the information. So we'll definitely be doing a more in-depth guide, especially when she gets closer and kind of going from there. But overall, she's a really cool unit. She has a lot of range to her. So if that's something you really enjoy with the A Bianca, and then she has quite a bit of stuff going on with her kit with the physical damage and a little bit of that lightning and kind of just doing quite a bit of damage, especially when you get those memories in there. So overall, I really think she's a cool unit, and it's going to be kind of helpful for you guys to kind of consider getting more and more S units as you kind of go through, because a lot of the modes that are open right now are going to be very, very hard in the future, and you're not going to be able to kind of do them with just the kind of 3 team. You're going to have various different teams, especially for various different things, because a lot of that stuff opens up and they need a certain type of elemental damage and stuff like that to actually help you out. So that's just something to consider as you're moving forward. Now, if you want more of like a free-to-play guide on how we can actually get BC, I can definitely look into doing that. Just let me know in the comments. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace.